and welcome to Life Less Ordinary. It is a Thursday morning, late July, and I've decided that it's time to start. Soil needs to be at a certain temperature for seeds to germinate. So what we're doing by putting a heat mat underneath these trays, which Salome at the moment is making up soil blocks for us to put the seeds into. Now these trays sit onto the heat mat, and because they are trays, we can water these soil blocks as the seeds begin to germinate and grow, and the water isn't going to leak all over our family room floor or all over the heat mat. However, the heat mat, because these trays will be sitting directly on the heat mat, these will be warm, the soil blocks will warm up. So as the seeds start to germinate, the soil has risen to a temperature that allows for germination of the seeds. So that is to say, that's what we're doing now, using a heat mat. We're made up our own propagating mix. So this is a bag of Tim's Best Potting Mix from Tim's Garden Centre in Campbelltown. It has been the best soil that I've used over the last probably 10-15 years, that I have at no point had any issues with growing things in, whereas a lot of other propagation soil or mix or soils that I've brought in from other places, I've ended up having lots of issues with. Tim's Potting Mix, I have not. So I am mixing Tim's Potting Mix with coconut coir. Comes in the blocks, which you then absorb. It absorbs a whole heap of water and ends up being this size. So I've mixed that through, and the job of that coir and a bit of vermiculite. So if you have a look at this, you've got some little white and brown bits in there. So the vermiculite and the perlite in there help the soil to retain moisture, and this is particularly important at the germination stage of the seed cycle. The soil needs to remain moist. So that's what I have used. There's no amazing mix, I've just mixed. To make these soil blocks, yes, you can use the trays that you get when you buy seedlings from your garden centre, and I do have lots of those. However, the last probably 4 years I've started using these soil blocks. It means that you're not using plastic, so that's why we have moved on to that. These I've gotten mine from Amazon, but you can get them quite expensively in Australia from online garden places. However, you can get them in different sizes. So this is actually quite a big size one. You can get them in really little ones as well. So I guess it all depends upon what your needs are. This was all I was happy to expend money on, this size. So we make do with this size. So that's what we're doing, making soil blocks using our own propagation soil mix and using a heat mat on a table in order to start our seeds off germinating early. So once the seeds have germinated, that means they've got their cotyledon, couple of sets of leaves on it. We will actually transfer these from here on the mat to another section of the room that won't be on the mat. So it's really only for me while the germination process, which can be up to 2 weeks, is taking place, that it needs to be on the mat. Once that takes place and the seedling starts to grow, then I can transfer it onto other trays, and I've got shelving that will go inside there as well, which we can transfer our newly germinated seeds in these seed mats to as they continue growing, which then means I can make up more soil blocks and do what's called succession sowing. So every 2 to 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, depending upon what our needs are, I'm starting a new set of seeds going on the weed mat in these trays with these soil blocks. So hopefully this has been helpful in seeing how you can easily germinate seeds. And while I'm not actually doing that yet in this video, I will do others very shortly to show that process, but how to set up your own germination station to some degree and do it easily, even when you live in a cold climate like we do here in the Southern Highlands of New South Wales. Anyway, hopefully this has been helpful. Please give this video a thumbs up, like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. But we do thank you for joining us as we live our life less ordinary.